everyone. I'm your host, Courtney Massey.
And I'm your host, Valerie David, and this is the Night Session.
We are back after taking a few weeks off. So,
Yes.
so let's get into it. I gotta get to my tabs here. I, Courtney Massey, on Sunday took a day trip to Montreal to attend the
Yay!
Rogers Cup. Everything went wrong. It was a nightmare.
Oh, no.
It was an absolute nightmare. Our GPS stopped working.
Oh, nice.
So kudos to the wonderful women who work in a pharmacy on Jerry Street in Montreal. They were amazing at getting us to the tennis. The thing was, we were 10 minutes from the tennis center, but because our GPS wasn't working, we were approximately 2 hours late
Oh, my God.
than what we wanted to. So, yeah, it was kind of hell.
Oh, my God.
And some of my stuff. The result of us being late was that I missed Ernest Gulbis' practice, which was the whole reason I made the last minute trip in the first place.
Of course.
Because recently, his coach, which I will bring up, his coach, Gunther Bresnik, went on Eurosport and talked about how he was originally supposed to travel with Ernest to Montreal, but stayed behind with Dominic Thiem in Europe for a few more days, and he has decided not to favor Ernests any longer, and he will travel with whatever player is working harder. And of course, right now Dominic has just been so dominant right now. He also mentioned that over the last 6 months or so, Ernest has been dealing with personal issues that he hopes has been behind him, which is pretty cryptic.
Yes.
We really have no idea what that was about. But I've been an Ernest fan for many, many years. I credit him for so much. He's been incredibly giving towards me over the years with his time and everything. And I was worried about him. So I wanted to make it to Montreal and maybe try and talk to him and see how he's doing. And I didn't really get to do that. But I did see him, and before and after his match against Mahout, he said hello. And actually, after his match, he said, "Hey," and slapped my arm, which I thought was funny. He's never done that before. And he just slapped me, and I was just like, "Oh, hi." But it was nice because it was clear, he remembered who I was, and
You were supposed to go, bruh, bruh. The Jude greeting.
But it was nice he remembered me because I haven't been to a tournament in a year, and I always just think people are gonna forget me. But he didn't. He remembered his little stalker, so that's nice. And it's funny because he didn't really let me talk because I thought he was gonna stop and talk to me like he normally does. But this was a different case because I normally don't talk to players when they're coming to and from their matches.
Right.
It's usually kind of a no-no. But because I was desperate because of the GPS debacle earlier,
Fiasco.
yeah, I was trying to kind of get his attention more. But he didn't stop and he kind of kept going. So I just yelled, "You won!" because I kind of panicked and wanted to say something. And he didn't turn his back. His back was turned to me, so I couldn't see him. But my mom saw him, and she said he was laughing at that. So that was my meeting Ernest Gulbis after a year story.
Thank God Ernie won.
I know, it was amazing. I thought he played really well. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that was another thing. They would not let me buy a ticket for his match. So on center court, so I had to use the free seats, which were on the third tier, which is basically next to the sun.
Oh my God.
And the goddamn stairs. I'm telling you, my legs are still so sore from those damn stairs. And we get at the top, and my mom looks at me and she goes, "Oh my God." So me and my mom almost died at the top of center court in Montreal. And then I didn't get many pictures. I don't know if you can see this real well on the screen, but I didn't get many pictures because I just thought it's too high up. And it's just ridiculous. So yeah, everything went wrong. Everything went freaking wrong. But he won, and that's the good thing.
He won. And I don't know if did you see that he got to play Dom again, which is
Oh
just like
gosh,
the curse of the tennis gods. I don't know what they did to offend them in a past life, but they had to play each other again. And did you see the match?
I didn't.
It was very weird. Um, you can tell that they both hated it. They absolutely did not want to be there.
Yeah, they both don't like to play each other.
No, it's just you could tell it was just too hard. And
Yeah.
um Dominic has won two tournaments, and then he got to like the semifinals of the previous one,
Hmm.
Kitzbühel, I think.
Hmm.
And the commentator kept saying that Dom got tired, because it was, he was up a set, and then they were kind of on par in the second set, and Ernie was kind of playing really craptastic, but Dom was letting him stay in it. And it was kind of starting to feel like, is Dom trying to like open the door a little? Like, Ernie, you can win this.
Yeah, I did read some people tweeting about how Dominic was kind of giving him some gifts in that match.
Yeah, and Dom was like, he hit miss a shot really terribly, and then he'd go through this whole pantomime of like cursing and seeming to be upset about it, but I didn't believe it.
Oh,
It was really weird. And so I wouldn't, I don't think he tanked or anything like that, but I did feel like his heart wasn't really in it.
yeah,
And then and when Ernie kind of pounced, it almost seemed like Dom was like, "Go ahead, take it." And I thought in the tiebreak, Dom actually kind of looked over at his uh, coach, I think, and was kind of like, he seemed worried, like, if I don't win it here, I'm toast. And that's kind of what happened. The third set, he just sort of completely fell apart. So, and he was shaking his hand out a lot. So he might also just be really tired. But I think it could have been a combo of Ernie needs this more than I do.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm exhausted. I probably can't make another round anyway. So I feel like there were some emotional things going on there. And Ernie actually gave him a look a couple times that was kind of like, that's not how you usually play. So it was an interesting, dramatic match to watch. Not necessarily the best tennis. Ernie had like 37 winners and 41 errors. So it was interesting. But Ernie right now is up a set on Rosal, and they're on serve in the second. So
Awesome.
we'll keep an eye on that.
That's awesome. And I know some other guys I saw that you were pretty interested in. The 18-year-old sensation.
Baby Borda.
And Valerie asked me as soon as I came home, "Do you have any pictures of his butt?" And I do have, there we go. I
All
do have
right.
one that
Woo!
seems to be on his backside.
The waist to ass ratio. I'm telling you, it looks good.
Waist to ass ratio. I do have one. I haven't edited and uploaded all of my photos yet, which aren't many, unfortunately. But I do have one where he his eyes are closed and his lips are puckered. So
Yes.
for you guys out there who like him, could easily Photoshop yourself kissing him. That is my gift to you, my unexpected gift to you.
Yeah, Borna, when he first came on the scene, he kind of had a Djokovic vibe, and he was also kind of built like Djokovic, sort of straight up and down. and, and so I never paid much attention. Plus, he was very young.
Well, yeah, he's just 18 now, so
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I just won't look too closely at that anyway. But now he's legal and he's starting to fill out a bit, and things are good. Courtney shared the picture with me in the preview to our podcast, and I had a little moment.
did. She completely ignored everything I was saying, and she was just humming over there. And then all of a sudden I hear her go, "Oh, sorry, moment."
It was like, oh shit, my mic's on.
Yes. So if you hear her do that, she's in her own little world, and I guess I have to take over because she's indisposed. What else? Who else?
But also his tennis is very good too. You should say that.
Oh yeah, tennis, right. We're totally fans of tennis here.
That's right. It's
I also
Neapolitan Kyrgios.
Yes. I saw the rock star of tennis, which I like to call him. Everybody, there's a lot of hate on the hair. And I get the hate. I get it. But I actually kind of like it because, one, I loved color hair, and I plan to dye my hair blue next month. So I like to see colored hair, and you don't really see that in tennis very often.
No.
Especially on the guys' side. I know the women have Bethany Maddox-Sands.
Yes.
But the men don't really have anybody, and I think it just fits him. I think it's his personality.
Yeah.
So I kind of like it, and I criticized Dominic a bit when he got the blonde, but now that his roots are kind of coming in, and it's not so overpowering, I think it looks good now.
Yeah, actually, I kind of like it. It sort of brings his eyes out more.
Yeah,
and
like he was looking pretty hot. So
yeah.
I was like, oh. I was making fun of you calling you Jedwood, but now I kind of dig it.
He convinced us.
He did. It grew on me. And I think that's the same thing with Kyrgios. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, man. And then I was just like, well, wait, that's his personality. Like, and he's bringing, and also we always complain that sometimes the players look the same.
Yeah. You're not going to confuse who's on which side of the court.
Exactly. Like, even if they're in the same clothes, you're still going to know. So that works, man.
That is true.
What else?
Well, and I was thinking about, because we've talked about bad boy Kyrgios and all that, and I was thinking, I'm like, when Kyrgios is getting a little older and he needs to be winning more tournaments and stuff so that he doesn't get bored. Because I'm like, right now he's just sitting in his hotel room dyeing his hair different colors. You know, we don't want this to escalate into something that's more upsetting than that.
Oh man,
we got to keep Kyrgios entertained, people.
Oh man, I forgot to say this. I'm looking through my notes, by the way, and I forgot to say this about Ernests. When I was, in Cincy, they have the player area with the gates that keep people on either side.
Yes.
Well, in Montreal, they just have a painted pathway on the ground that you're not supposed to cross.
Oh, I see.
And I kept saying, surely they need to have something, because in Cincy they have the gate, but you know how there's plants, and even though there's the gate, anytime a guy like Federer comes through, it gets crazy and people push and the plants fall down and almost hit Federer, and then the guards would get all worked up.
Yeah.
So I was like, surely they can't just be like, oh, put your foot behind the line. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
So finally it comes out. They have a rope. They take out a rope, which still to me doesn't do anything. But they have a rope to keep people back. So I was standing behind this little kid at one point because I'm waiting for Ernests and Novak is coming off the court. So of course it's getting crazy. And I'm the only one facing the opposite direction waiting for Ernests. So anyway, there was a little boy in front of me, and I was like in this second row. You know what I mean? So, sorry, I lost my train of thought, and then I didn't. Sorry, I'm all right. Thinking about butts, I guess.
I know I was. What were you saying?
My mom said out loud that I should push that kid out of the way. She said this out loud for people to hear. She didn't whisper it in my ear. She very loudly said that I should push that little boy down.
Oh, no.
So I got nervous and I yell, "What? I never do that. I'm a nice person." Trying to save myself.
Oh my god.
And it's funny because the little boy ended up leaving before Ernests came out. so I got the spot anyway.
He was scared.
But I know that's what my mom said. She's like, yeah, because he was afraid you were gonna go at him.
Oh my god.
But because my mom doesn't really go to tennis tournaments very often. The only time she's went with me is when I'd gone to Montreal because she's my driver. But I'm just like, what are you? You're crazy. Why would you say that? Awful.
I don't know. There are some kids at tennis tournaments that people would like to push out of the way because they can actually be some of the most obnoxious human beings at a tournament, and they get a lot of leeway given to them despite how violent they could be.
Oh, I know. Some kids are awful. But this kid was nice. He was being nice. He wasn't bothering anyone. Yeah. And my mom was just being a bitch about it.
Your mom was the scary one.
I know. She's like, take him out. I'm like, first of all, people can hear you. Take it down a notch. Oh, gosh.
There are witnesses. I can't do that.
Yeah, like, what are you saying? Other stuff that happened in Montreal. I don't have too much because I spent the majority of the day trying to figure out how I could spend some time with Ernest. Also,
like you do.
Yeah. Also, it was absolutely packed, like painfully packed. And I haven't went to a tennis tournament in a year. And Val, you said that the tournaments are starting to get fuller.
Yeah, Cincy has really changed within 4 years.
We're not kidding. Like, I had to fight to see who was practicing. It was ridiculous. So I couldn't really get pictures very much. And, I mean, usually practice courts are packed for, like, the top 4.
Right.
And maybe some hotshot local players. But, I mean, these practice courts were ridiculously packed. But it was also kids and family weekend, which is free.
Yeah, so that makes a difference. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are going to be there when, you know, you get to take advantage of seeing the best players in the world at no cost to you.
Yeah.
Oh, the thing that's really funny about Montreal is they use golf carts to transport players from the player building to the practice courts. Now, in Cincy, they do the same thing, but typically it's only for the top players that would be mobbed otherwise.
Right.
And also they take them outside the perimeter of the tournament.
Yeah, I was going to say they go the back way.
In Montreal, they drive through the grounds, so you constantly have to move out of the way.
Oh, my goodness.
But one of the moments that was funny about this was as I was walking, I heard, players coming through, players coming through. I look up, and it's tall Max Mirnyi jogging in front of a golf cart using his long arms to swoop people out of the way. And then in the back of the golf cart was Feli Lopez just relaxing.
Oh my god!
And I thought this sight was really funny. Like, did Max lose a bet?
Right.
Like, why was it his job to make sure Feli's chariot got to the player building on time?
Oh my god!
And it was so funny to look up and just see Max Mirnyi like police and like brushing children out of the way with his giant arms. Like,
oh my god, that's like the old rules where before they had headlights on cars that someone had to run in front of the car at night holding a lantern. Max Mirnyi was the lantern holder.
He was, and I was like, why is that his job? Because sometimes like people who are volunteering there will do that. But I don't know why a player is jogging. Normally they're in the cart.
Oh my god.
Max Mirnyi is just taking his big giant arms because he's huge. And he's, you know, player coming through and he's swooping people out of the way. And it was just amazing. And like another thing that's similar to this, it's amazing to see people absolutely lose their shit, especially for Rafa Nadal.
Yeah.
And I feel like people get extra crazy when it comes to Rafa, but maybe it's just because I tend to see him more than the other top guys. But the most hilarious thing in the world is you can always tell Rafa is coming through by the huge mob of people running after the golf carts.
Oh my god.
And it's fun. It's funnier when you watch it from far away.
Right.
When you are actually walking and Rafa's cart passes you and you look behind you.
Oh no.
It's like Jurassic Park.
Oh my god.
Where you're just slowly turning your head and this huge mob with giant tennis balls is running and screaming towards you.
Oh my god.
And it can be terrifying, but it never fails to make me laugh. And then on the way to his practice court, one guy was running up to the golf cart and started running backwards behind it to try and get a selfie with Rafa.
Oh my
And like
god.
the golf cart's moving, so he has to run backwards to try and do this. Now, if I tried to do this, I would have fallen over so fast.
I got run over by Rafa. It was amazing.
I know, like Rafa better get out of that cart and like pick me up. Like,
No kidding. I got a selfie of the underside of the golf cart.
yeah, exactly. I don't think he got it, but I would be surprised if he did. But if you find something that looks like, if you find a selfie somewhere on Twitter where it looks like a guy is just running behind a golf cart taking a selfie, please send it to me.
Oh my god, that's
and
insane.
also, a few seconds after that, you hear these group of girls just screaming bloody murder because Rafa waved at her.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh, it was so funny. And actually, Pospisil had a little mob running after him too.
Oh, there you go.
I thought that was interesting because I
Canadian
thought
hunk.
yeah, I thought that was only like the big dudes. But it is funny how they drive around the grounds and everybody has to move, and who's ever driving is constantly, yelling in French. And then Max Mirnyi freaking. I wonder if he's getting paid for that. Like,
Yeah, there you go. Maybe that's
like,
how he makes extra money on the
yeah,
tour.
like, that's like his side job.
Crowd control.
Yeah, and like it's always great to see fan reactions. Like, I'm a fangirl, I understand the excitement, but it's still, some of it still blows my mind. And Rafa, one last thing about Rafa. Last time we were in Montreal, my mom saw Rafa when he was shirtless and sweaty and after practice, and he was getting out of the golf cart, and an older woman ran up, didn't even ask, and snapped a selfie. Then she went to her friend and said, "It looks like we're in bed together."
Oh my god.
And my mom was so floored because it wasn't like a young teenager or like a woman in her 20s or 30s. Like, she was an older woman and she couldn't believe it. Like, this is like Boodle's territory.
Yeah.
My mom didn't know that was even a thing. And she's just like, oh my gosh.
Yes, Rafa does seem to attract the older ladies. I don't know what it is. It's that hot Spanish man fantasy, I guess. Your own cabana boy. I don't know.
I don't know, but that's what it looks like. We're in bed together. I want to see that selfie where it looks like you're in bed together.
Yeah,
like,
no kidding. Let's see that.
Did you Photoshop a bed behind your head? Like, what looks like a headboard? Like, what are you?
Oh my god!
Like the
Well,
roof.
all the people behind them, maybe it looked like an orgy, you know.
Oh my gosh. And last thing about Montreal is just kind of advice. If you're thinking about going to Montreal, the kids and family weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, is great, especially if you have kids. First of all, it's free, so you get to see everyone, practice and all that for no cost whatsoever. But also great for kids because they have tons of stuff set up. They have a rock wall, they have tons of play equipment and like tennis sets and face painting and all this stuff inside the grounds, which I always think is pretty cool. Like, I'm too big. Like, I remember last time I was there, they had a bouncy castle. I don't think they'd let me in. I didn't try, though. But also, my favorite part was the tennis grounds is located in a park, and it is the most beautiful park I've ever seen. It has a skate park and a ball hockey rink, multiple like baseball fields and basketball courts and soccer fields, or football, depending on where you're listening to this from. It has a huge playground area and a swimming pool. And I saw people playing like cricket and flag football, and people were sunbathing. One guy had this little tiny little travel grill, which was like really adorable.
Yeah.
This is this little baby. Like, I wanted to put it in a Barbie house. It was so adorable. So yeah, if you do plan to go to the tournament, definitely like spend some time relaxing in the park. And that's good to like bring a lunch with you at tournaments, and then between events, you can just go and sit in the park and eat.
Yeah, that is
What I
nice
would
there because
do.
you can't do that in Cincy, so that
No,
is a nice difference.
you are not allowed to do that in Cincy. But I think here, I don't think they'll say anything.
Yeah,
Um,
Cincy they frisk you for food before you come in. They don't.
well, I think Montreal doesn't really have a food court. They have food state. They have like the, in Cincy how they have the food underneath the stadium.
Yes.
they have that, but they don't really have a food court.
Ah,
And they have like ice cream and stuff. But so
right.
I think because of that, I think they're more generous of letting you bring stuff in. Like we brought water in and no one said anything.
Yeah.
Where in
Yes.
Cincy, you have to only one bottle and you have to have
The label off.
the label off unless it's Evian because that's their sponsor.
Yes.
So yeah. So anything else in Montreal that you saw match wise that you wanted to talk about? Did we cover
Um,
everything?
I don't think so. It's still Ernie just lost the set against
Oh
Rosal,
no,
so they're
that's so
into.
sad.
I know they're into the third set, so we'll
Well,
see. Oh, and Jack Sock beat Grigor, but we'll
oh,
talk about Grigor later.
maybe we'll talk about Gregor right now.
Oh, we'll talk about Grigor now then.
Yeah, we're gonna get in it.
Can
So
we look
I'll
at
let.
Borna Bud again before
Oh,
we leave?
yeah. What?
I love you, Borna.
And he's legal now. We could love him and not go to jail.
That's
What?
right. Woo!
We are winning.
He
All
has to
right.
play Boodles. They'll love him there.
Oh gosh, that poor boy. They're gonna rip his junk off, like for real.
No. Maybe he should wait until he's a little stronger.
Oh gosh, he might not like you saying that. He'll be like, "Whatever, I'm very strong."
I'm very strong. You're still a kid. You're a pup.
You're a pup. Hey, if you will be in Cincy, so will Valerie. You can prove her wrong.
There you go.
And so yeah, so we'll move on to Gregor, and I'll let you take this.
I just loved this picture they chose of Grigor.
He looks like a little boy.
I know. That's like they just amped up the like. Can you see why they're not together anymore? Yes, Grigor and Maria are no more, and
Oh,
haven't really. It's interesting because usually when couples break up, you've heard a bunch of stuff beforehand, like, oh, they're probably breaking up. We saw them having an argument and whatever, and there really wasn't anything like that with these two. They were together like 2.5 years or something, and then it was just like, you know, we've kind of gone our separate ways. And the only thing that was interesting was that in his quotes about it, he said, we had a good relationship and I wish her well and that kind of, statement type stuff. And then he said, and now it's going to be all about my tennis and I think you're going to see a difference in the results. So it was almost like she's been holding me back and now things are going to change. It was sort of like a little odd. So it's kind of like, did she break up with him? But I was thinking that was always a tough relationship because they're not that far apart in age, but she's had a lot of success. She has her own business. She's involved in fashion. She does magazine covers all the time and all that kind of stuff. And he's got a little fanfare for being like the hotshot pretty boy kind of thing, the next Federer. But then his results weren't matching up with that. So I have to think that after a while that gets hard for both of them because it's just always harder when you're doing the same job and one person's way more successful at it. And it's like, it's like even if they weren't bad about it to each other, I think sometimes that's still they're just kind of like at different places in their life. So I could sort of see that maybe it just just wasn't going to work right now. So you never know, maybe in the future that might change. But I said it was kind of interesting that there wasn't a lot of negative publicity before this happened. But it was a big change because he also got rid of his coach, Roger Rashid. So he's
oh
made
yeah,
some
he
really
did.
big changes. And he said that he kind of got a taste of what he was capable of last year. And, he did well on grass. And I think he took Murray out at Wimbledon. And, and then this year the results just weren't there. And it's kind of like Rashid's probably taken him as far as he can go. I think he got him in a lot better physical shape. But I feel like Rashid's too stringent with, Grigor is a flashy player and he's a little bit insane, but that's what makes him good. And I think Rashid wanted to beat all of that out of him, like, no tweeners, no hitting trick shots, no, and it's like, and it kind of sucked the joy out of it for Grigor, and he became more of a mechanical player, which can kind of make you more consistent, but he sort of became consistently average. So I think right now he needs to find a coach that can figure out how he can still be creative on the court, without throwing a match away being stupid, but, embrace that kind of crazier side.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Federer still does tweeners and stupid drop shots at weird times you know, and you can't argue with his accomplishments.
But, yeah, I was gonna say, but it's Federer.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
there's a thing where it's just like you have to be serious on the court at all times and have to always hit the exact percentage shot or whatever. And I think even Roger said that a few years ago when he was struggling a little bit more, that he started just going for those safer shots all the time. Because he says you realize the consequences of if you do a stupid shot on match point or whatever. So you become more careful. But then what happens is you start to become too careful. And then if you're evenly matched with somebody, being careful is not going to help you win the match.
Yeah.
So I think Grigor needs to find somebody that's going to help him figure out how to use that creativity a little better and not completely squelch it. Just my 2 cents.
And next step, he should dye his hair, because that's
there you go. That seems to be the thing.
Yeah. Well, every time you gotta have a breakup, you gotta change your hair.
That's right. It's true. Go to the salon, Grigor.
That's what we do.
Actually, Grigor with the blonde, I don't know. That might work too. I don't know. Have that cool boy band vibe thing going.
Yeah, man. Well, Dominic needs his other Jedwood, so
they could be like cute little twins.
Yeah, little pop star twins.
And then he'll have to straighten this bow tie, because that's just.
Yeah. That you brought that up, and now it bothers me.
I know.
Now I want to jump into the picture and fix his tie.
It also bothers me that this jacket looks like it's Maria's, because it's got like puffed sleeves. It's like, I know he's typically fashion forward, but that's not.
It doesn't. It looks too big for him.
Yeah.
It doesn't look fitted.
Yeah, that was an odd choice.
Like, it looks like a regular, like, jean jacket. Like, it looks like it would be a regular, like, down jacket and not like a spiffy, I'm a grown-up, look at me at this fancy party jacket.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. And it looks like it might be like velvet or suede or something. The problem might be the way the photo's cropped too, because like maybe if we saw the whole thing, maybe it looks a little better. And
also, I was totally pointing, and you couldn't tell. You're pointing like along his shoulders to try and show you what I'm talking about.
Yes, let us illustrate this.
Oh man,
we're gonna have to start doing webcasts with like a big screen or something, and then we can actually point at this stuff like we do anyway.
Like, look at what I've seen.
Look at this is Borna butt. Look at how it curves.
And you just pointing at it for an hour.
Yes.
We've already moved on. And
right, I'll just still be standing there pointing.
Have your little pointer on his butt. All right, so are we done with Grigor?
We're done with poor Grigor. I hope we're not permanently done with Grigor, but
I'm sure we won't be. I'm sure.
It looked like that was a scorcher of a match against Jack Sock. It was 2 7-5 sets and a tiebreaker. So I mean, that looks like that was a good one. So good for Jack. America. I have too many boys that I like. It's like, and they always seem to find each other in the draw. It's like there's like 6 matches I could give a crap about. And then everybody I like is canceling each other out.
Yeah, you say that all the time too, so it really is true.
It is true. I like too many guys. They're just too cute.
Too many butts. You can never have too many butts.
Yeah, well, tennis is known for like very fine asses. So it's...
You know what? I didn't include this. Should I say the Jesse Levine thing?
Oh, yeah, you
I
should.
didn't include this in, but it's so small that I can say it real fast. So Jesse Levine has been doing some commentary for the Rogers Cup this week, and he ended up tweeting that Mahout got in as a lucky loser, but he had a typo, and it came out Mahout is going in ass. And so I retweeted it and said how I lost it because, I'm mature. And I knew he was going to delete it. And I wanted to save it before he did, but he deleted it like immediately.
Of course.
And then, so I tweeted to him and I was like, oh, come on, man. What? That typo was funny. Leave it in. And then I'm going,
that's what she said.
Yeah. Leave it in, Jesse. Leave it in. Leave it. See, look, highbrow anal jokes. That's what I bring to the table. But I was worried he wasn't going to find it as amusing as I did, but he did end up favoring the tweet, so I think he was all right with it. But
so he was cool. So Jesse's still cool, but he's professional, so he didn't want to leave that Mahu ass thing out there.
Who is in ass? But who's ass? It's a mystery. All right, so we're gonna go to the curious case of Bernard Tomic.
I can't get over this mugshot.
The mugshot, I know.
I keep staring at it, and also because like the woman who thought she was in bed with Rafa in her selfie, he kind of looks like he's on a slab. Like, just like it scared me when I first saw this. Like, is he dead?
He's dead.
He's naked and on a
autopsy photo.
Yeah, that's what it looked. Doesn't it kind of look like that?
You know, I never thought about it. And his eyes are like down and
yes.
up. Oh my God, like, it does look like he's dead.
It's like
that's creepy.
Me out.
You didn't mention that. Now I'm really creeped out now. Okay, so anyway, this is as everybody knows, he got arrested in Miami, and he's always had his ups and downs in his career. He's always, gotten in trouble and had controversy. But like, I felt really bad about this. And I was so worried that this was going to be the start of like a for real downward spiral. And I think we kind of have a culture that enjoys watching train wrecks like Lindsay Lohan and Britney Spears and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I felt really bad about this. But then a week later, he won the title in Colombia.
I got to wear this groovy hat.
I know. And look, this trophy. Okay, for any of you who go to state fairs and there's like, when you go to get a gyro or like a hero or whatever they call it in non-America. It looks like the slab of lamb that is spinning around that they take meat from. Doesn't it?
Which may have been the inspiration. You never know.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
And that would have been awesome if you had a trophy like that. So you could have trophy and the celebratory dinner all together.
Gosh, I really want gyros, you guys. Like, that would be awesome. I would totally steal that trophy if that was a real trophy. Or I would just be behind it with a little knife. And
just shave it off little pieces. What if the trophy seemed smaller? No,
yeah, he'd get to the player lounge and it would just be this big hunk of meat section just gone.
Oh my God. Yeah, the Tomic being arrested thing, people were talking about that was, I think, the same weekend that the Davis Cup, the Australian team was playing without him. And it almost seemed like an emotional outburst, kind of, that he was really upset that he wasn't playing. And so then it, this stupid hotel thing just escalated because he was just in such a bad place. It was like, fine, arrest me. It was like a kind of a cry for help almost, and it's like you said, it makes me feel bad because I'm not a fan of train wrecks. I don't, I'd rather not see somebody, completely go out of control. And like you said, he got his Euro trophy, so
You
maybe
did.
things are okay. But it was like if you read the story about the arrest, it was like totally his fault. I mean, it was like he had like
Well,
four
yeah.
chances to avoid it.
Yeah, and you don't want to challenge police here. Like,
No.
and especially if they're giving you like multiple chances, like
Yeah.
it's not going to be well. Like it's not going to go well. So,
Yeah.
but
And it was like, and after like the third time, like all his guests left because they're like, or we'll arrest you, and everybody went arrest. And they all left. So it's like if all of your guests, who are probably mostly drunk, have the sense to get out, don't you think maybe you should just shut up and give it up already?
yeah.
So it's just hopefully he'll learn from this, and but
Mhm.
that whole thing with the Australian Tennis Associate, that has to be somehow resolved because I don't think Kyrgios isn't that good with them either. It's like that just whole dynamic doesn't seem to be very healthy.
No, I think everybody hates each other, really. I think,
Yeah, it's
and it all just seems so petty and
yeah,
not, and it's just not great for the actual Davis Cup team, because we
no,
want the best players to perform there and all the fans and everything. And you don't want to turn all your like hottest players away from it.
yeah. And it's just kind of bad for Australian tennis in general, where you've kind of got a
Mhm.
players adversarial with the organization. It's like that's not going to help anybody.
Yeah, but this arrest and then and then winning thing. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe it works for him. Like Val, you'll be at Cincy. I mean, you should take Dominic. You should take Tomic and go cause some vandalism or something.
There you go.
Get arrested, and then maybe he'll win the U.S. Open.
There you go.
Take one for the team, Valerie.
There you go. I
And,
got
and
arrested with Tomic for you.
exactly. First of all, awesome story. Second of
There you
all,
go.
maybe you can do a group mugshot where it either A looks like you're in bed together, B looks like you're in the morgue together.
We'll bring Rafa. That'll make it perfect. Just
Prop 'em,
imagine the page views I'll get.
dude, prop Rafa up like Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh no!
I
He's
was
just drunk. I swear, he's just drunk. Oh, great, Weekend at Bernie's.
oh Weekend at Bernie. I didn't even realize how much that worked.
Bravo.
Yes, unintentional awesomeness.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
Now we'll go for some more positive news. Sloane Stephens.
Our Sloane dear, as I always call her, which is a Ferris Bueller quote, which I'm sure everyone always just thinks I'm weird. I'm my own version of Brad Gilbert. I have nicknames for everyone.
That's amazing.
But that's all I ever think of is Sloane dear. But as you can see, she was extremely excited. She won her first freaking title, which
Yay.
which was totally awesome. And the lucky thing was she got a walkover from Kuznetsova, who had an injury problem, because Kuznetsova's up to number 28, so she's been playing really well. So that would have been a second round match. So she got out of that one, but she beat I believe it's pronounced Chirico, American girl who has been playing really well all of a sudden. She just had like this surge. She was a wild card, and but she beat her in straight sets, and then she bageled Stozer.
Yeah, I heard
Uh,
about that.
yeah, and won in straight sets, and then she just kind of totally knocked Pavlyuchenkova off the court for the final. So it was a really good title win. It's always nice to get a first title, but then on top of it, where it's like you totally really earned it,
Yeah.
that makes it even sweeter. So I'm hoping it's the first of many, because she's another one of these people that kind of got slammed with early expectations, and she's
Mhm.
been slipping down the rankings and not winning and feeling, put upon by the press. And so hopefully she seems like she's been in a better place for the last few months. She's enjoying herself more on the court, and whenever she's feeling good, her shots just fly so freely. They always talk about her natural athleticism, and it's like she can hit winners and they show the slow-mo, and it doesn't look like she's even trying. It's just like, oh, I just swiped that into the corner and for a winner, no big deal. So I'm hoping that we'll get to see more of that. But it didn't quite go her way when she went to Canada, which is what this next tab is about. She got Cibulkova in the first round, which, as you can tell from this phenomenal racket break,
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
even Ernie, I don't think, has ever. He always gets that perfect. He cracks it and it bends in half at a 90-degree angle, but
Yeah.
she just like lopped it right off.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. That takes some skill.
The only other time I've seen that, and I can't remember which player it was. It was another woman who hit the ball,
Yeah, I think it
and
was Radwanska.
yeah, I think you're right.
Where she
Yeah,
hit it and it just snapped on its own.
it did. It's there. She was holding the handle.
Just looking like, what?
And that was somebody made an animation for it and turned it into a lightsaber.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so Sloane lost to Cibulkova, which is, there's not really any shame in that. Domi is a really good player. That was a tough draw, but after you've just won a title, it's not exactly the way you want to go out. So she was pretty frustrated by that. But we'll see in Cincy. Hopefully things will go better.
Yeah, definitely. And we got some boyfriend drama.
Oh yeah. More in women's tennis. Yeah, this was an interesting thing where Allie called her coach out on the changeover, and he came out and you could tell he was not comfortable being on camera. Kind of like how Paul Annacone used to be with Sloane. And he was just saying all these sort of platitudes, kind of like, just play your game and just hit through your shots. And I'm going, how is this helpful? It's just like, and so she kind of apparently talked back to him a little bit, still dwelling on that she had played a game that she didn't think was good. And I think she missed a chance to break and then got broken or something like that. So she was upset. And so he pulled the mic off. But you could still hear him because apparently the mic was, or the TV camera still picked it up and said, "Shut the fuck up" to her. Which, as you can see, Ben Rothenberg of the New York Times thought that this is just one more way that women's on-court coaching is bad. And then you could show Allie's response. So Allie comes back and says, "He's not my coach, he's my boyfriend."
Which makes it worse.
He came here using vacation time and helped me get a top 10 win today. So Ben, like I was thinking, and you were just said, I know he's your boyfriend. I'm not sure that makes the cursing any better.
Yeah, when I saw the Vine first, and I just thought, oh, wow, that's kind of a dick move. But then when they said it was her boyfriend, I went, whoa.
Right.
I could have punched him in the face. Like,
right.
Because here's the thing, like, I'm all for, like, helping me or whatever, but that doesn't help me. Like, yelling at me when I'm, like, maybe not playing so well, or I'm not, to motivate me, that's not, telling me to shut the fuck up is not gonna make me better.
Yeah.
And I joked earlier with you that, like, let's say it was reversed and I was dating Ernests Gulbis and there was coaching and I went down there and told him to shut the fuck up, I would get that racket in my head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It was interesting. I was kind of shocked because there were a lot of people who were kind of upset by this. And then there were a lot of people who were like, well, everybody's making a big deal out of nothing. And my boyfriend talks to me like this all the time. And this is how coaches motivate people when they're, getting in a bad emotional state or whatever. And I'm just like, that if my boyfriend said, shut the fuck up to me, that would be it. Relationship would be over, especially on national television on top of it.
Yeah, I think You know what? If it's done like in a joking way, I would.
Right,
If
exactly.
you're like genuinely like yelling at me, like he was genuine about it. He wasn't
Yes.
being funny. Like he
Right.
was genuine. If he was being funny, he might have not ripped the mic off because he knew he was about to say something that was inappropriate.
Right.
And that's the thing. Like he knew he was saying something that was inappropriate.
Right.
And that's why he took the mic off. And I think I'm kind of a stubborn person where I'd be like, no, that's not, you're not going to talk to me that way. So, but
Yeah.
I mean, she seems to like him and
Yeah.
support what he did.
And
So.
what was weird was then this kind of did blow up a little bit. There were several articles showing this Vine on it, and then she called him out for her next match, and she acted really weird through the whole coaching session and kept talking back to him in kind of like a sarcastic way. And he was saying, well, you this was a good game, and she goes, I know I played a good game. And then she'd kind of look at him, and then she was looking at the camera with like an odd look. And then finally he gets up and like pats her on the shoulder and goes, I'm gonna leave before I say something bad, which I originally took as like a dig about that everybody made a big deal about what he said the time before, but the whole dynamic was just bizarre.
That's really weird.
And I'm like, boy, it was kind of bad before, now it's even worse.
Yeah, like they just made it awkward. Like it's like we're watching couples like fight and like we're not supposed to be in the room and like we kind of want to run away but there's nowhere to run.
Yeah.
Like, this is weird. Like I'm uncomfortable. Like there's something going on and we don't know about it and
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
should know about it. Like it's very weird. Like you wouldn't see Lee Na's husband do that.
no.
And that's the thing, like I love Lee Na and I love her husband, and like she don't take crap from him.
Right.
And they have a really playful and fun relationship. And that's what I like to see. It's like
Right.
but for him to just be all like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like it. It came off really bad to me, and I said in the second coaching meeting, I couldn't tell if she was just mocking the whole thing, because she does have a sarcastic sense of humor. I follow her on Twitter. She's funny and everything, and this whole thing was just odd.
I mean, maybe it was all a joke. Like, you know how when Maria Sharapova jokes, but it doesn't come off like a joke?
Right, no one realizes it. Yeah, exactly.
So that might have been what she would have done. Like, hey, let's do this skit.
Right.
And, make fun of each other. But
right.
At the same time, we're like, I don't know if we're all in on it. It just might be like an inside joke for them, thinking that it's a joke. And then we're all like,
Yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that was this is this is John's blog again. He interviewed I believe it's Armitage, that's how I'm going to say it, Stephen Armitage, a while ago, that he's the coach for the USTA. So he's not just, oh, I had my boyfriend come out. He is a tennis professional, and he actually he coached Rajiv Ram and Marty Fish too. He said he worked with him for a while when he was in the top 10. So when there were some other the coaching sessions with Allie, he was giving her good information and stuff. It was just everyone kind of got hung up on this one moment. So it's like, I don't want to judge somebody based on 10 seconds. It's just like, it was just a very unfortunate 10 seconds.
Yeah, I think it was just a bad judgment call. And I think
Yeah.
it was, maybe they both weren't really feeling it, and
Yeah.
Things get said and things happen. But it does, like, for me, I would be like, what did you just say?
Yeah.
Get off my court.
And I think that people got upset about it too, because people are very touchy about the women's on-court coaching, because it's just this continual thing of, here's the woman that can't think for herself and has to have a guy come out and tell her what to do. And if they had on-court coaching for the men's tour, it wouldn't be as bad. but it's like there's very few female coaches for the women, and so it's just this thing that
It looks bad.
it continually looks bad.
I never even thought about that because I don't watch women's tennis very much. But why is there on court coaching?
They think it's entertaining. It was I think I'm assuming the WTA decided this, that it was like gives you an inside look at how the players work with their coaches, and that's why they have to be mic'd, because then you can find out what they're saying, which 90% of them are speaking in a foreign language, so you're just sitting there for 90 seconds listening to some guy shout in Polish at a player who isn't paying any attention to him. That's the other part that always looks bizarre. It's always like a lot of the players just stare off into space while someone yells at them. So it's weird. It's like if you get somebody who comes out and does give some valuable information, or like Kvitova and her coach come out and chat, he sits next to her, and then you can kind of see where it's like, oh, they get a little strategy, then they feel a little more relaxed, and it's helpful and it's fine. But a lot of the way that on-court coaching looks is just, to me, it's bad for the sport. I know some people don't agree, but I think Brad Gilbert wants it for the men's tennis. Because there's a lot of times like this, there's drama. So that's what some people like about it.
Oh gosh. Ernests Gulbis getting coached during I actually had when I interviewed Ernest in Latvia, we talked about Davis Cup, and his friend Carlos is the Davis Cup captain. So I said, does he give you advice during matches? Does he kind of coach you? And he says, no, a captain is not a coach. And he says, if he says the wrong thing, we're going to fight. But it's funny because captains are a coach in other teams.
Yes.
Like the Americans are big on coaching.
Yes.
So, but Ernest, says if he says the wrong thing, we're going to fight. So.
Oh, no. He's just the guy that stands there and supports us. That's all he's there for.
Yeah. So he's just there.
That's funny. Yeah, I know some players are upset about that, like that they can't have their own coaches. Like they can be there, but they can't actually be on the court or involved during the matches and stuff. And then I know a lot of players are like, I want my own coach. So it's like they should be more careful about choosing Davis Cup captains sometimes, because it has to be somebody that everyone can work with, as the Spanish team has.
Oh boy.
has revealed.
Ernest had a horrible relationship with the past Davis Cup captain before Carlos took over.
Yeah.
And, like you can see it. Like they would sit down, and like he would never like look at the dude. He would like it was the most awkward changeovers.
Yeah.
Because they looked like they didn't even know each other.
Oh no! Why are you sitting here?
Yeah, and I know he didn't play Davis Cup sometimes because of him. So it was good that Carlos took over. But yeah, Ernest is very no coach situation. But also it would be funny. I mean, you got guys like Fabio Fognini and guys that are already funny.
Yes.
And then put it in a dynamic where they can talk and cool crap and see what happens. I mean,
yeah, because the Stan Sev interactions during Davis Cup were pretty dramatic and amusing at times. But then that's kind of what makes Davis Cup special. So
true, very true.
If you have it all the time, then that might lose some of its flair. Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, Ernie won. He won his match against Rosal.
Oh my gosh! Yay! Look at this. Look, we're providing live tournament coverage. Although this is not going up live, so
no, it'll be late. But I wanted it to be relevant because I didn't want us to go, oh, we don't know what Ernie's gonna do. But he won, so he's still on a roll. And JD suggested that maybe he scored some good Kukushkin up in Canada, so maybe that's what's been helping him.
I love how your husband took my joke and ran with it. I think that's the best joke I ever made because it has been a continuing joke.
He just loves it. He'll just come into my office and go, I've got something you could say. He's my coach. Yes. It's so sad. I'm like all the women players. I have to have a man tell me what to do.
I guess it's a good thing that I'm single and alone and
It's important if it's a collaboration. It can't just be somebody yelling at you. And my husband has never told me to shut the fuck up, for the record. That's why we're still married. And I've never said that to him. So, but yes, moving on from Allie is not going to continue having her boyfriend come out. Chanel Skeppers, a South African player, just retired, and she posted this message as a small announcement that she's retiring, but she's going to be touring on a limited basis and coaching Allie, which is probably going to be pretty cool. Allie had said in another article that she's had a lot of coaches, and so she was hoping that she could find somebody that she could really work with and focus on things with. So maybe I'm assuming Skeppers is not going to come out and say shut the fuck up. So
we'll see. You never know.
You never know. Maybe that's what Allie likes in a coach. Yeah. So
just start smacking her.
Yeah, there you go. Like, this is how you do a backhand.
WTA.
Woo.
Sponsored by Spassel and Coach.
God.
Just kidding. All in fun. Okay. I don't want angry letters by her boyfriend.
That's right.
I'm sure you're a wonderful person.
That's right.
So we are getting to In the Tunnel.
Oh, In the Tunnel.
So I picked In the Tunnel this week.
Woo.
And my pick is Brayden Schnur.
Oh, so pretty.
The 20-year-old Canadian cutie who came on my radar a few years back in Granby, Canada. He currently plays college tennis at UNC and has done really well there. Over the weekend, Brayden received a wild card for the Rogers Cup qualifying, and he passed the first test but wasn't able to make it to the main draw. And I wasn't able to see him because we all know my day went to hell.
So he played Yuzhny in the second round, didn't he? It was like a terrible. I'm pretty sure he played Yuzhny in qualifying, which was a terrible draw.
I thought he played Lou.
Oh, was it Lou? Yeah, that's
Lou.
Yeah, that's
I don't have it with me, but
I think you're right. I knew it was a tough matchup because I'm like, he didn't get somebody ranked 586.
And so why did I pick Brayden? Well, Brayden is an emotional player, which is a quality I look for in a tennis player. And like good or bad, he lays it all out there. And I love his passion. And he's just so gosh darn fun to watch. He really is. And, he's pretty easy on the eyes.
Hello. How you doing?
And this... I know Valerie would probably want me to stay on this one, but I'm going to move on. He has a really good sense of humor, and he's super fan-friendly. He's very sweet and very approachable. I've talked to him a couple times on Twitter, and he's just so nice. And actually, when I first met him, I had taken pictures of him at Granby, and he actually later messaged me and thanked me for the photos and all my work that I did.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Isn't that sweet?
So he's a nice boy.
We like nice boys. We do.
And we like to corrupt them.
Oh, gosh. I'm gonna keep it PG here, so
I know.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it PG with Brayden.
Courtney's too close to the family.
No, well, okay, I did make a joke. His mom is following me on Twitter, and I didn't. In case this gets to her, I wanted to keep it PG. Okay,
that's right. I was gonna be the obnoxious one. I was gonna take the hit on this one. That I am the horrible, malicious cougar. And Courtney was going to play the sweet girl. You're Betty, I'm Veronica.
Yeah. So, and next, speaking of his family, that actually worked out very well. He has a beautiful sister who he's very close with. And his whole family just seems like so much fun. And so they're adorable. And okay, are you ready for this? This last one. Brace yourselves. This is the best one. Boom.
Oh no. You had to get a puppy picture in there.
I'm a huge dog lover, so I have to get this. Also, like, come on, tell me he does not look like a heartthrob contender in that photo.
The epic hair and
Like,
the
right?
bedroom eyes. That's good stuff
The
there.
puppy, like, Grigor Dimitrov better watch himself.
That's right.
Because I would not be surprised if this guy gets a horde of girls running after that golf cart.
Or running backwards in front of it.
Yes, exactly.
In high heels.
Exactly. Throwing their underwear on the court.
No. Get ready, Brayden.
Get ready.
It's about to get weird.
Not me, by the way. I'm keeping my underwear on. Just for the record. That was not about me. Valerie, I don't know, but me,
no one can speak for me.
I am not going to speak for
People try not to speak about me either.
No.
She who shall not be named.
She just lives in like in a dungeon somewhere.
Oh,
in a cave that no one talks about.
That's right.
Like the Grinch up in the cave.
The dirty old lady cave.
Yeah. So anyway, I think Brayden is super dreamy and wonderful. So he is my crush of the week this week.
So welcome to the tunnel, Brayden.
Yes, welcome to the tunnel.
We love you.
I kept it PG. I think I was good.
And
it's funny because when I just met him, he had just turned 18.
There you go. You timed it just right.
I know. I got perfect in there.
You got the radar.
Yeah.
Ooh, legal.
Exactly. And you gotta watch out at challengers because it
Yes.
can go either way. And he looks very young, so I'm like, I don't know about that. But he was 18 and now he's 20, so it's all right.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, we can talk about him. And I think he'd actually like not mind it. I don't think he'd be creeped out. He has a really good sense of humor. And so I think he'd be okay with this. I hope so.
If he is, we'll talk about you even more. So
exactly.
See, it's good PR.
Exactly. So I highly recommend, if you are not following him, go follow him on Twitter at Brayden Schnur and Instagram at Brayden Schnur. And he's pretty and wonderful, and we love him. And that's it for us, man.
Oh, and you got to scroll down.
I know. I'm gonna. Oh, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna scroll down. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna get to Dominic's ass.
Dominic's ass, but you have to just scroll back up just a little bit just to show the translation that this gave for this tweet. It says dorm ass.
Really awesome.
Which, if I lived in a dorm, this is the kind of ass I would like to see every day.
I thought you were going to say that's the kind of dorm I'd like to live in. That's what I thought you were going to say.
Well, there'd be room.
Clearly.
I
thought you were just going to curl up on that butt. So
that is magnificent. I had to have this somewhere in the podcast.
She had to have it.
I had to have it.
She had to have it.
Oh, and it's just a beautiful picture too. It actually looks like it's snowing, which it isn't, but
I know.
It's been raining, torrential downpour in Canada in both tournaments for all week.
Yes. I'm happy it didn't rain when I was there. There was a lot of clouds when I first got there, but the rain kind of stayed away.
Yeah, that would have been just like the ultimate in disaster for that day. You could just
I'm really surprised it didn't rain. I'm really surprised.
Right after you climb that 5 flights of stairs.
Oh
that would have been when it would have hit.
Yeah, and then just and I would have just laid there. I'm just gonna lay here. It's fine.
I give up.
I give up. It's just gonna drown myself in rainwater. It'll be all right.
So clearly the universe was not completely against you.
Yes. Yay!
Take heart.
Small victories.
And maybe Ernie was encouraged by your presence, and that's why he won.
Maybe
it wasn't maybe it wasn't the Kukushkin.
No, maybe it was my Kukushkin.
Maybe it was your Kukushkin. Ooh, this takes us to a whole nother level.
Yeah, I'm totally talking about my vagina right now.
Chelsea Handler has a Koslopis. We're gonna
yes,
get.
Exactly. Gosh, I should really start calling my vagina Kukushkin from now on. I can't tell if that's like really awesome or like the worst thing I've ever said.
Oh my god. Poor Kukushkin is
I know.
somewhere.
He's weed. He's now a vagina. Like, just. I mean, but people like both of those things.
So it's a positive nickname. These are good things to be associated with.
Yeah, I mean, I've never smoked weed, but I heard it's a good time. I'm not encouraging anyone to smoke weed, by the way. I'm not encouraging you to do that. But anyway, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can follow me at Courtney Mania. You can follow Valerie at Tennis Inside Out, and we can talk about all the Kukushkin that we want.
That's right. You can follow me at Dom's ass, apparently.
Oh, you should make that like a total website just dedicated to Dominic's ass.
There you go.
I'm surprised you haven't done that.
Baby Borna butt.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't just had a website just about ass.
Well, really, that's kind of my
True, that is kind of your
website does embrace that.
Yeah, that is kind of your website, huh? It really is.
We cover a lot of things and
tennis inside out of your butt. Is what
and it frightens me because a lot of times I get some of the Google keywords that they send me, the statistics of what people searched for to get to our site, and I have gotten searches for inside out ass. And I always hope that they were actually searching for our websites.
I hope that they were searching for porn and just ended up on your space, and they're just like, well, while I'm here, there's some good ass on this site.
Some good ass. But it's not inside out.
Not yet. That's what the imagination's for.
There you go.
You gotta work for it a little bit. Smoke some Kukushkin, lean back. And wait. Oh no, I shouldn't say this, but I was gonna say, lean back, smoke some Kukushkin, and play with your Kukushkin. I'm so sorry.
On that note, I think
I think we're good. I think we're
done.
Yeah, we should end this now.
This has been the Night Session.